P2P network is a system where computers talk directly to each other instead of going through a main server or a central boss computer. So instead of a single entity running the entire system and coordinating various nodes of the network, we have all of the nodes working together and these nodes help run the system. P2P networks are very old. They have been in the use for various file sharing applications like BitTorrent or Nutella. You also have them in various kinds of communication applications like text messaging or video conferencing or voice over IP. Apart from that, they are also used in CDNs for optimizing the delivery of content and data. And beyond that, P2P is also used heavily in Internet of Things, and of course, blockchains are built on P2P networks. Centralized networks have problems of their own, like there's a single point of failure. There's a risk of censorship that if the master node decides to censor some kind of data or some kind of communication, then other nodes won't be able to communicate among themselves. Then there's a high cost of infra setup, and you're also supposed to put your trust in the single entity that is managing the entire network. Apart from that, since the entire system is coordinated by a single entity, there are some scaling bottlenecks with centralized networks. P2P networks solve these problems by removing a single point of failure, and they also reduce the infra cost, they improve the resilience of the network, and they distribute the trust among all of the nodes of the network. So all of the nodes in the P2P network work equally. There's no master server. And these networks also scale better because these networks scale organically with the users. If anybody wants to use the network, they'll join the network as a node and they'll also act as a client and the server, so increasing the number of nodes in the network. P2P networks are a specific kind of distributed system where each node, also known as a peer, can act as both a client as a server, and all of these nodes together share the responsibility for computation, storage, and communication in the network. Now, these networks are often characterized by certain specific attributes. Like when I already mentioned, there are no strict client and server roles. There is symmetric power distribution between the nodes of the network. Every node is equal, there's no master or client node. All of the nodes in the network have a sort of a dynamic membership where peers come and go as they please. And these nodes also operate on some partial trust assumptions, which simply means that the nodes of a network put some sort of faith in each other that the other nodes would not act maliciously. Since the architecture of P2P networks is different, these networks also work slightly differently. So if a new node wants to join the system, they install and run a software which is often called a client software. This software is an implementation of the protocol which defines how the node will work together in the system. When this new node is ready, it communicates with some nodes of the network, which are often called as bootstrapping nodes, and gets a map of the network. This tells this new node about the nodes that it can communicate with easily, and then this new node establishes a communication with those nodes using some TCP/UDP connections and establishes some encrypted channels for message passing and communication. Then this node becomes a part of the P2P network and communicates with the different nodes of the network using message passing or some kind of gossip protocol. And these nodes share different kind of data, like which new node has joined the network, which node has gone inactive, or they also share data between themselves using encrypted channels. Since these nodes also need to agree on certain things, they often have some mechanism to enable that. It's mostly called some sort of consensus mechanism, and you'll find it being mentioned again and again in blockchains. P2P networks differ from centralized networks in many ways. Like in P2P networks, the control of the network is distributed among various nodes, whereas in a centralized network, the control of the network is with a single entity. Because of that, in a centralized network, there's a single point of failure. But since the control is distributed in P2P networks, these networks are more fault tolerant than the centralized networks. In centralized network, you need to trust the operator or the single entity operating the network. In P2P networks, you trust the protocol, which is the way the nodes will operate in the network, and this is hard coded in the client software. Centralized networks need to scale vertically, which is often expensive, whereas P2P networks scale horizontally, which is more organic. It's easy to censor anything in a centralized network because you only need to get a hold of the single entity operating the network, whereas it's very hard to censor anything in a P2P network because all of the nodes are operating independently. Centralized networks have a benefit of giving predictable latency, whereas P2P networks give give you a variable latency. This is mainly because each node would be operating independently and would be setting their infra in their own way. So there's no standardization in P2P networks. Lastly, centralized networks are simple in their system design, whereas P2P networks are sometimes complicated in their system design. In a nutshell, centralized networks optimize for control and simplicity, whereas P2P networks optimize for resiliency and autonomy. This makes centralized networks much more suited for reliable services, and the P2P networks are by design good for building open networks. Like think of internet or maybe any kind of blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, something like that. P2P networks also have a negative image attached to them. This is mainly because P2P networks remove a centralized party, removing any kind of gatekeepers, and these gatekeepers usually enforce some kind of law, like this is how the thing should operate, and they control the access to the network, to the resources of the network, and they also collect some kind of fee or rent for enabling the access to the network. Since P2P removes these gatekeepers, they basically become some uncontrolled system networks, and because of that, historically P2P has been associated with piracy, like think of Napster or torrents, and they also have been associated with distributing malwares, and they have been heavily used in dark web marketplaces. But over time, the narrative about P2P is changing. This is because some P2P networks nowadays operate as whitelisted networks where you can have some sort of control over the entity running the network. And besides that, the user experience of using P2P networks have also improved greatly. Overall, the legitimate use cases have started to dominate the illegitimate use cases, like P2P networks are being used in IoT or in CDNs and mostly in blockchains. They are also being used to distribute software updates much more efficiently. P2P networks lie at the heart of the Web3 industry because Web3 is built on blockchains, and blockchains are essentially P2P networks. So the entire Web3 industry is mostly peer to peer. In a blockchain, the nodes of a blockchain form a P2P network, and these nodes share the data among themselves, and they collectively maintain the state of the blockchain, that is, the ledger of the blockchain. Any node in this P2P network can join the network and contribute towards maintaining and running the blockchain, and they can also leave at any time. So, to help these anonymous nodes spread across the globe work together towards the goal of the network, these are also given token incentives that are hard coded in the network protocol via cryptocurrencies. Whenever any new node joins a blockchain network, they connect with other nodes just as a regular node would join a P2P network, and they download the entire blockchain state up until then from these nodes, and then they start working with these nodes towards maintaining and updating the blockchain. This inherent nature of P2P makes the network trustless, and this gives blockchains their most important property, that is decentralization. So without peer-to-peer networks, a blockchain becomes simply a centralized database, and a Web3 system goes back to being a Web2 system. There's this site called as BitNodes, which will show you all of the nodes running the Bitcoin networks at present spread across the globe. So do check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Thanks for watching. You can ask about any other topic in the comment section. Do subscribe for more such videos. And remember that this is not a financial advice. You have to do your own research.